been a minute, but here's another episode of an AJ Sports Podcast. What episode is this? 27 of his entire existence. There's been some interesting events since the last time I recorded. Let's get to two NFL coaches right away because the NFL offseason hasn't been that relevant as of yet. That'll be until next month when the draft goes around. The combine's going on. The Colts hire... I keep forgetting. Why am I forgetting his name already? Shane Steichen from the Eagles offensive coordinator. The only reaction I really have is thank God he's not Jeff Saturday, because Jeff Saturday's an incompetent coach in my opinion. 33 to nothing blown lead. That's all I need to say. The Cardinals doing what the Cardinals have done. They're gonna be a mess for years. They hired Jonathan Gannon as their head coach. I just had a feeling it's going to be this classic Cardinals butchering, which, let's be honest, besides the Bruce Arians years, that's what they've done their entire franchise. Let's just get that going. Georgia football program's having a bad offseason. I mean, you had Stetson Bennett celebrating a little bit too hard. And then that accident that killed Georgia's offensive lineman and one of their staff members, turned out that was just not completely incidental. You had the Georgia's offensive lineman that was riding with one of the staff members on the team with recruiting stuff, and Jalen Carter. Apparently, they decided to go on a little bit of a good old street race, which is never a good idea and not stable for not getting into accidents. Which the staff member lost control of the car. And by the way, she was intoxicated, by the way. Chandler LaCroix. And what's that player? Devin Willock. So LaCroix was drunk, alcohol 2 times over the legal limit, crashed into a pole, and both got killed. Jalen Carter did actually fled the scene just before he was going to take a press conference for the combine, gets issued with an arrest warrant, turns himself in, and serves shorter of a time than the longest time I've ever taken a shit. So Jalen Carter is pretty much cleared of all charges at this point. As his draft stock, I don't see it fall too hard. He was a top 5 pick. I don't think he falls out of the top 10. I think when the draft rolls around, it won't nearly be as big as a deal to team organizations than it kind of is now. That's how I feel it. It's not going to be a Laramie Tunsil situation. That was just so much drama involved. So just no. It will not be a Laramie Tunsil situation. He'll still be in the top 10 draft at the bare minimum. He could still be in top 5. That's just what it is. College basketball's gotten into some fun. Alabama getting themselves to a mess. Brennan Miller, in particular, was projected to be a number 1 overall pick. The whole Darius Miles shooting, apparently, according to the damn police, Brennan Miller actually brought him the damn weapon, which that caused a lot of controversy. Him, Coach Nate Oates, people were very critical of his response, but Alabama does keep winning. I mean, they beat South Carolina, and the 3 close games have been close games. They beat South Carolina after Miller dropped 41 damn points, which he did, 41 damn points. Beat Arkansas, and the most recent win was Auburn, which Auburn completely choked in that game. My God. Auburn will still probably make the tournament. This college basketball season is just weird. What other teams that separate so the Big East has had a pretty good resurgence. Teams like Xavier, UConn, Providence, Creighton. Plenty of pretty solid teams this year. for the Big East. Arizona, UCLA, still playing great. Purdue, on the other hand, I'm a Purdue basketball fan. The last time I've recorded, they were consensus #1 team. They have hit of a massive skid. I'm talking losing games to the first one, IU. On IU, they were terrible in the first half. Lost to got swept by Northwestern. Got blown out by Maryland. Lost to IU again, and saving our ass against Wisconsin. The issue at Purdue is they cannot fucking shoot. They cannot shoot the damn ball. Let's just get it started. Zach Edey has been carrying this team for the last month. Brave Smith's been solid. Fletcher Lawyer played his best game against Wisconsin over a damn month. Mason Gillis can't shoot for the last 2 months. Brendan Newman I've given up on this guy a long time ago. He turned out, the last time he's played well was the beginning of last season. Even more, can't shoot, but he's out there to play defense, even though his defense, in my opinion, has kind of slowly declined. Caleb First, he's not there to shoot, he's there to grab boards and just be a facilitator, but this is a horrendous shooting team that it doesn't seem like it's going to get fixed this season. Purdue is going to get their ass home in the second round of Sweet 16. They're not going to Elite Eight. They're probably not going to win the Big Ten tournament, which they haven't won since 2009. It's just another classic season where Purdue completely chokes, falls off, and losing in humiliating fashion into the NCAA tournament. It's just what it is. Dear God, I thought this team was different too. But nope, it's the same old song and dance with this godforsaken program. If you want some college basketball rankings, Houston's #1. They have now separated themselves. Alabama's 2, Kansas 3, UCLA 4, Purdue 5, Marquette 6. I forgot to mention Marquette when I was talking about all the good Big East teams. They've been dominant. Baylor 7, Arizona 8, Texas 9, Gonzaga 10th, even though I think they're fraudulent. 11th Kansas State, 12th Tennessee, 13th Virginia, 14th Wisconsin. IU, they're the worst team. They're like the worst highest ranked team. They're ranked 15th. Miami 16th, St. Mary's 17th, San Diego State 18th, Xavier 19th, Providence 20, Maryland gets to the rankings 21, even though they lost to no, that was not Maryland. Rutgers lost in absolutely humiliating fashion to Minnesota. Oh my God. TCU ranked is 22nd. Kentucky was ranked 23rd. They're still ranked now, but they're going to drop out. A&M's ranked 24th. They've been underrated this year. They can win the SEC tournament. And Pittsburgh is 25th. So here's some marquee matchups later on today. Alabama plays at Texas A&M. Very huge game. This Alabama's kind of been hanging around close games. Their defense has not been good the last couple of weeks, and A&M's kind of been underrated all year. This is a perfect opportunity for A&M to pounce. Iowa State goes to at Baylor. Seton Hall plays at Providence. Tennessee travels to Auburn. Louisville's 4-6. Oh my God. Kentucky has to go to Arkansas. They need a bounce back win. Kansas against travels to Texas. That's a top 10 matchup. Pittsburgh and Miami a top 25 matchup. Xavier plays Butler. Butler actually did beat Xavier early in the season, so Butler's looking to sweep them. UConn travels to Villanova. The biggest game of the day, Arizona versus UCLA. That is a must-watch game. If you're just a college basketball fan in general, Arizona won the first matchup 58-52. They're ranked 8th in the country. UCLA is ranked 4th. So that's kind of been the college basketball tournament. The season so far. We're heading into the tournament. I do want to look at this bracketology because I haven't mentioned it yet. The 1 seed of the South is Alabama. 1 of the East is Purdue. 1 seed in the Midwest is Kansas, and 1 in the West is Houston. The 2 seeds Baylor, Texas, UCLA, Kansas State at 2 seed. Oh my God. I wonder why Arizona's a 3rd seed. I would put Arizona at 2 seed in my opinion. Just an opinion though. Marquette 3rd, Gonzaga 3. Who else is 3? Tennessee. Here's some teams that have rose up. Providence, Illinois, Memphis, Iowa State, A&M, Creighton. What other teams? Iowa, Boise State all have jumped in the bracketologies. The teams that have dropped: Kentucky, West Virginia. What other teams? NC State, San Diego State, Arkansas, Maryland, Pitt. Those are the teams that have dropped. The first 4. Here's all the other teams: Wisconsin, Mississippi State, Penn State. They're kind of the high-profile teams that are like the last teams in. Here's some teams that might be out of here: Clemson, Arizona State, Michigan, North Carolina. I want to talk about North Carolina for a few moments. What the hell is going on over there? This team, North Carolina, they were preseason ranked number 1. And although they did beat Virginia, trying to save their ass, I don't know if it's going to be enough. This team just has not done it. No, they've gone on a small streak, just a little bit. But this was a team that was ranked number 1. More failures like this might cost Hubert Davis his job. And that should be very damning. Because wasn't he supposed to be the replacement for Roy Williams? Although it's hard to replace Roy Williams, it's just not going well for North Carolina. Baseball's in spring training. What do I think of teams? How do I think about this Major League Baseball season? Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I guess I'll go. What do I think is going to win the divisions? The AL East, probably the Yankees again. Like, the Yankees are easily the most talented team in the AL East. They've added some guys. Just Carlos Rendon. They just made some moves. Just, I guess, small ones. They really didn't do way too many changes. Just keep the core attack, I guess. Which, it's not a bad thing, dude. They need to be consistent. They haven't done it. Other contenders, Toronto is in the race. Tampa Bay, you cannot count them out. Baltimore had a big season, though they narrowly missed the playoffs. We'll see. We'll see how they do. The AL Central, Cleveland with their pitching, they have a legit shot. The Twins, possibly, maybe. They signed Pablo Lopez. They traded for Pablo Lopez. They got rid of Luis Arias. So maybe with that little tweak, maybe. The White Sox, possibly. They were stuck in mediocrity for a while. I might give the slight edge to Cleveland, but Twins are up there. The AL West, obviously, Houston. They're just easily the best team, in my opinion, AL. Even with Verlander gone, the Astros just have so much depth. Just so much depth. There's so many good players on that team. And I know they lost Verlander, but their pitching is still great. You did add Jose Abreu, who's going to be an absolute asset. that man is gonna be a crucial hitter. Just gives them more depth. It's that simple. And the Astros can just use it. They kind of retooled. By the way, Christian Vasquez is 20. Actually, it's pretty huge for them. AL East, that is the toughest one. That's the toughest one. The Mets have gone all in. They have re-signed a bunch of players for a bunch of money. You signed Verlander. They even tried to sign Carlos Correa after his failure to sign with the Giants because the insurance wouldn't cover the potential ankle problem that might ruin his career. So, Carlos Correa, welcome back to the Twins, buddy. Congrats. Verlander and Scherzer reunite since their days at Detroit. For the Mets, is about if their team can stay healthy. If they can stay healthy, they're capable of everything. But if they don't, it will be a disaster. The Braves, you cannot count them out either. The Braves, they kind of made some tweaks just a little bit. They're trying to not get embarrassed in the NLDS this time, hopefully. Hopefully they don't get embarrassed. We'll see how they do. We'll see how they do. Choke City of Georgia, even though Georgia has won 2 national titles and the Braves won a World Series recently. Can't really call them Choke City. At least not yet. But if they continue to lose in humiliating fashion, maybe I might. The Phillies, they had a big signing with Trey Turner. They basically replaced Gene Segura with Trey Turner, which is an upgrade. Gives them some defense to a team that has pretty much none. They signed Craig Kimbrell too, which is weird. He just hasn't been the same in years. Taijuan Walker gives them some starting depth. Very interesting team. The Phillies are still dangerous. And the Nationals are trash. And the Marlins are not good enough. NL Central, the Cardinals, they have the high-end talent. It's that simple. The Cardinals are just far away the best team in the NL Central. Goldschmidt, Arenado, even with Pujols and Molina retiring. The Cardinals got Wilson Contreras, which is a Cubs fan. Guess not too happy, but I kind of expected that. I had a feeling Contreras was gone. I thought he was gone in the trade deadline. But that's a story for another day. The issue I have with the Cardinals is their pitching. Their pitching is solid, but I just don't think it's good enough. They're really counting on Flaherty returning to his absolute peak form. I don't see that happening. He's a good pitcher, but I don't think he's great. Wainwright's getting there in age. Miles Michaelis is, once again, he's good, but he's not great. I think that's just going to be their weakness, even though this team can absolutely slug it out. As for the Cubs, interesting offseason. I would think they would stay quiet and rebuild, but that really did not happen. I mean, the Cubs went out and got plenty of dudes. Dansby Swanson, a very risky signing. They long-term bunch of money for a guy who just had his breakout season. Inconsistent hitter who strikes out a ton, more than usual standards. Cody Bellinger, we're praying to God that he returns to 2019 form. I don't see it happening. We'll see how it goes, because he hasn't hit in 3 years. Tucker Barnhart, good defensive catcher. You know he's not going to be a good hitter. That's just the standard. You just know what's going to happen. We even signed Trey Mancini as a DH hitter. If he can be solid, that's a pretty good bat. So the Cubs, they have a potential to be the upper tier bats in the National League. And maybe of all baseball. The issue is their pitching. Their pitching is just not good. Drew Smyly, Marcus Stroman, Keegan Thompson is obese. I've been waiting for Keaton Thompson to play solid. Kyle Crenshaw has passed his days. He's done. Andrew Sampson, he was okay. Just you don't see names that scare anybody. It's that simple. We also Jameson Talley. Oh my god. Which he wasn't actually too bad with the Yankees. So we'll see how the Cubs. I think they're gonna be a fun team to watch. Regardless if they do get their expectations in order or not, they're gonna be a fun team to watch. But we also signed Eric Hosmer too. My God, I completely forgot about that. A lot of weird pieces. They're going to be a fun team to watch, even if they don't come close to making the playoffs. I don't see it happening. I don't think every signing is going to work. Some do, some won't. And we obviously are waiting for Seiya Suzuki to break out. Which, he had an okay first year. He had an okay first season with the Cubs. Definitely need to improve the way how this team's propping him up. But we'll definitely have to see how he does. So Cubs, interesting team to watch this year. NL West, it's gonna be the Padres or the Dodgers. The Rockies believe they can play 500 ball. They're not. Diamondbacks, no idea what they're doing. The Giants are too old. They need to retool in the coming years. The Dodgers have lost some pieces. They lost Justin Turner to the Red Sox, Andrew Heaney's with the Rangers. Just some of their core guys. Some of them are gone, but they have that insane talent. Can't count them out. The Padres, all in. They signed Bogarts, Cruz to ridiculous money, and they might have just signed Manny Machado to extending him for ridiculous money. They've been trying to get a push for years, and they made it to the NLCS last year, but they did lose to the Phillies. Maybe they can make a push this year. So that's kind of the episode there. Some NFL coaching hires, college basketball, how the landscape's going there, and my preseason baseball predictions. So that's the episode. Thanks for watching.